Dear student, today we will learn chapter number 2, parallel lines and transversal. If you have not subscribed my channel, please subscribe it today itself. Let's start.
What are parallel lines? The lines in the same plane which do not intersect each other are called parallel lines. Okay? If the lines do not meet each other, then those lines are called as parallel lines. Let's say example. Here we have line L and here we have another line M, and you can see that line L and line M do not meet each other, do not intersect each other. Even the distance between those two lines is same. Such lines are called as parallel lines. So in this figure, line L and line M are parallel lines. Symbolically, we can write this as line L parallel line M. You can see there are two vertical lines. That is a symbol for parallel line. So you can say that line L parallel line M. What is a transversal? If a line intersects given two lines in two distinct points, then that line is called a transversal of those two lines. Let's say example. Here we have line L, here we have another line M, and you can see that both the lines are intersected by a third line X, and you can see that line X intersect line L and line M at point A and B respectively. So this line X intersect line L and M at two different points. Therefore, line X is a transversal of line L and line M. Angles made by a transversal. If a line intersect two lines at two different points, then 8 angles are formed. Let's say example, here we have line L and line M, and they are intersected by a line X. So here line X is a transversal of line L and M, and this transversal forms 4 angles with lines L and M. Let's see, here we have angle A, that is the first angle, angle B, second angle, angle C, that is third angle, angle D, fourth angle, fifth angle is E, sixth angle is F, seventh angle is G, and eighth angle is H. So total here we have 8 angles in this figure. So make a note, if any transversal intersect two lines at a different points, then 8 angles are formed. These angles are grouped in different pairs of angles. Let's study the pairs. What are pairs of corresponding angles? Look at the figure. In this figure, line X is transversal of line L and M. There are 8 angles in this figure. Make a note, corresponding angles are on the same side of a transversal. You can see the transversal X. To the left hand side of transversal X, there are 2 pairs of corresponding angles. Let's see, here angle A and angle E. They are on the left hand side of transversal X, and it is the first pair of corresponding angle in this figure. Now here we have more 2 angles to the left hand side of transversal X. They are angle D and angle G. And angle D and angle G is the next pair of corresponding angles. So here we saw that there are 2 pairs of corresponding angles to the left hand side of transversal X. Similarly, we have 2 more pairs of corresponding angle to the right hand side of transversal X. They are angle B and angle F is the third pair of corresponding angle, and angle C and angle H is the next pair of corresponding angles. So total we have 4 pairs of corresponding angle, 2 pairs on one side of a transversal X and 2 pairs on the other side of transversal X. And if line L and M are parallel, then corresponding angles formed in this figure will be congruent. So angle A congruent to angle E, angle D congruent angle G, angle B congruent angle F, and angle C congruent angle H. So you can see that all four pairs of corresponding angles are congruent. Why? Since line L and line M are parallel. Pairs of interior angles. Here we have a figure. In this figure, line X is transversal of line L and line M. There are two pairs of interior angles in this figure. Interior, you can see the word interior. Interior means inside. So there are four angles inside the parallel line L and M. They are angle D, angle C, angle F, and angle E. These four angles will form two pairs of interior angles in this figure. So here we have the first figure, first pair of interior angles, angle D and angle E. You can see that angle D and angle E are inside the parallel lines and they are on the same side of a transversal. So angle D and angle E is first pair of interior angles. Now we have more two angles inside this parallel line, C and F, and they are also on the same side of a transversal. So angle C and angle F is the next pair of interior angles. If line L parallel line M, then angle D plus angle E equals to 180 degree. Angle C plus angle F equals to 180 degree. It means if any transversal intersect two parallel lines at different points, then the interior angles formed in this figure will be supplementary. Supplementary means sum of those two interior angle would be 180 degree. Pairs of alternate angles. Here we have a figure. In this figure, line X is transversal of line L and M. There are four pairs of alternate angles. They are classified as interior alternate angles and exterior alternate angles. It means there are two pairs of interior alternate angles and two pairs of exterior alternate angles. First we will see interior alternate angles. You can see that there is one word, interior means inside. Okay, so interior alternate angles are pairs of angles which are formed inside the parallel line. Okay, you can see in this figure angle D and angle F are inside the parallel lines and it is one pair of interior alternate angles. So make a note that the angle should be inside the parallel line and they would be the cross angle. You can see angle D and angle F are cross angle. So angle D and angle F is first pair of interior alternate angles. Angle C and angle E is another pair of interior alternate angles. You can see that those two angles are also inside the parallel lines and they are cross angle. So angle C and angle E is the next pair of interior alternate angles. Now we will see exterior alternate angles. You can see there is a word exterior. Exterior means outside the parallel line. And look at in this figure, there are four angles outside of these two parallel lines. They are angle A, angle B, angle G and angle H. So in this figure, angle A and angle G is one pair of exterior alternate angles. Angle B and angle H is the next pair of exterior alternate angles. So angle A and angle G are outside of those two parallel lines and they are cross angle. Angle B and angle H are outside the parallel line and they are cross angles. So angle A and angle G is one pair of exterior alternate angles. Angle B and angle H is the next pair of exterior alternate angles. And if line L parallel line M, then angle D congruent angle F, angle C congruent angle E, angle A congruent angle G and angle B congruent angle H. It means if a transversal intersect two parallel lines, then alternate angles formed by them are congruent.
Practice set 2.1. Here we have the first question. In the adjoining figure, each angle is shown by a letter. Fill in the boxes with the help of the figure. The first one, it is asked to us find out corresponding angles. Okay, the first one is angle P and dash. Second one is angle Q and dash, angle R and dash, angle S and dash. So we have to fill these boxes. Look at this figure. Okay, we will try to understand corresponding angles in this figure. Corresponding angles always lies on the same side of a transversal. You can see the one vertical line which intersects both the lines. That vertical line is transversal of both the horizontal lines. Okay, so to the left hand side of this transversal there are four angles: angle P, angle S, angle W and angle Z. Similarly, we have four angles to the another side of transversal. They are angle Q, angle R, angle X and angle Y. So corresponding angles always lies on the same side of a transversal. So look at in this figure, angle P and angle W is one pair of corresponding angle. Okay, look at in this figure, angle S and angle Z is another pair of corresponding angle. Angle Q and X is the another pair of corresponding angle. Angle R and angle Y is the next pair of corresponding angles. Okay, now you have understood what is the corresponding angles. Now let's fill the boxes. The first one, angle P and dash. Which angle will come over here? Yeah, you are right. Angle W. The next one is angle Q and dash. Can you think which angle will come over here? Yes, you are correct. Angle X. Third one is angle R and dash. Which angle will come over here? Yes, it's angle Y. Correct. The fourth one is angle S and dash. Fill this box. Yeah, correct. You are correct. You will get angle Z. Okay, so make a note. Corresponding angles always lies on the same side of a transversals. Okay, now we have the next interior angles: angle S and dash, angle W and dash. Now we will try to understand interior angles in this figure. Make a note: interior angles. You can see the word interior means inside. So angles which lie inside the parallel lines. So in this figure you can see that angle S, angle W, angle R and angle X are inside the parallel lines, and those angles will form pairs of interior angles. Look at this figure here. Angle S and angle W is one pair of interior angles. Okay, look at in this figure, angle R and angle X is the next pair of interior angles. So what is the interior angles over here? Interior angles are the angles which are inside the parallel line, and they also lies on the same side of a transversal. S and W is one pair of interior angles, one side of a transversal. Angle R and angle S are the pairs of interior angles on the other side of a transversal. So angle S and angle W is one pair of interior angles. Now sixth one, angle W and angle S is the another pair of interior angles. So just make a note: corresponding angles always lies on the same side of a transversal, and even interior angles also lies on the same side of a transversals. Now here we have the second question. You can see angles are shown in this figure with the letter. and you have to write the following pairs of angles. The first one is interior alternate angles, second one is corresponding angles, and third one is interior angles. So first we will go for interior alternate angles. Look at in this figure. You can see the word interior alternate angles. Okay, so interior means inside. The angles which are formed inside the parallel lines. Okay, look at in this figure. Which angles are formed inside the parallel line? Angle B, angle C, angle E, and angle H are the angles inside the parallel lines. So look at in this figure. B and H, they are inside of those two parallel lines. So angle B and angle H are interior alternate angles. It is the first pair of interior alternate angles. Make a note that interior alternate angles are not on the same side of a transversal. So B and H, you can see the cross angle, angle B and angle H. Okay, and similarly, angle C and angle E, they are also inside the parallel lines and they are cross angle. They are not on the same side of a transversal. So what are interior alternate angles here? Let's write angle B and angle H, angle C and angle E. Now here we have to write the corresponding angles. I had explained you just now what is the corresponding angles. Corresponding angles are the angles which lie on the same side of a transversals. Look at in this figure. Here angle A and angle E is one pair of corresponding angle. Angle B and angle F is the next pair of corresponding angle. Angle D and angle H is the next pair of corresponding angle. Angle C and angle G is the last pair of corresponding angle. So let's write the answer. Angle A and angle E is first pair. Angle B and angle F is the next pair. Angle D and angle H is the next pair. Angle C and angle G is the last pair of pairs of corresponding angles. Now we will see the interior angles, right? This, you can see there is one word interior, means they are inside the angles formed inside the parallel line, and interior angles are on the same side of a transversal. So look at this figure. Angle B and angle E is one pair of interior angles. You can see they are inside the parallel line and they are on the same side of a transversal. And the next pair is C and H. You can see these two angles also lies inside the parallel line and they are on the same side of a transversal. So let's write the answer for this. Angle B and angle E is one pair of interior angles. Angle C and angle H is the next pair of interior angles.
Now we will see practice set 2.2. Let's start. Here we have first question. Choose the correct alternative. In that first one, in the adjoining figure, if line M parallel line N and line P is a transversal, then find X. The options are given here. Option A 135 degree, option B 90 degree, option C 45 degree, option D 40 degree. Okay, we have to find out the correct option for this question. So now we will go for explanation of this question to know the value of X. Okay, in this figure, line M and line N are parallel and line P is a transversal. Look at this figure. In this figure, X and 3X are interior angles, and we know interior angles are supplementary when the lines are parallel. Therefore, X plus 3X equals to 180 degree. Supplementary means sum of these two angles would be 180 degree. It is according to interior angles property. Therefore, 4x equals to 180 degree. Therefore, x equals to 180 degree upon 4. We will simplify this. We will get x equals to 45 degree. So which option is the correct option in this? Yes, C is 45 degree. That is the correct option for this question. Here we have question number 2. In the adjoining figure, if line A parallel line B and line L is a transversal, then find x. The options are A 90 degree, B 60 degree, C 45 degree, and D 30 degree. Okay, let's see the explanation of this question to get the correct option. Okay, consider angle y as shown in the figure. Okay, look at this figure. I'm going to name one of the angle as y. Okay, can you see that which angle I have taken as y? Yes. Now look at this figure. In this figure, angle y and 2x are vertically opposite angles, right? Angle y and angle 2x are vertically opposite angles, and we know that vertically opposite angles are congruent. Therefore, y equals to 2x. Okay, look at this figure. In this figure, line A and line B are parallel, and line L is a transversal. Therefore, 4x plus y equals to 180 degree. Look at this figure. Can you find angle 4x and angle y? Yes, what kind of angles are they? Look at this figure. 4x and y. They are interior angles, and interior angles are supplementary. It means sum of these two angles is 180 degree. So I have written 4x plus y equals to 180. Now what we will do, we will replace y by 2x. You can see in the previous step y equals to 2x. So we will get 4x plus 2x equals to 180 degree. Therefore 6x equals to 180 degree. Now we will shift 6 that side. Therefore x equals to 180 degree upon 6. Simplify. Therefore x equals to 30 degree. So which option is the correct option in this question? D. D 30 degree is the correct option. Now here we have main question 2. In the adjoining figure, line P parallel line Q, line T and line S are transversals. Find measure of angle X and angle Y using the measures of angles given in the figure. Let's see the solution. Okay, look at over here. I'm going to consider angle A and angle B in this figure. Okay, look at this figure. I'm going to name two angles in this figure as angle A and angle B. Okay, you can see that I have taken two angles in this figure, which I have named it as A and B. Line P parallel line Q and line T is a transversal. Look at this figure. Here line P and Q are parallel and line T is a transversal. Okay, therefore A equals to 40 degree. Okay, because they are corresponding angles. Look at this figure. Can you find A and 40 degree? Yes, they are corresponding angles, right? So they are equal. Okay, now look at this figure. Here angle X and angle A forms linear pair, right? Therefore A plus X equals to 180 degree. Now we will substitute here value of angle A as 40 degree. Therefore 40 degree plus X equals to 180 degree. Now we will shift plus 40 degree to right hand side of this equation. We will get X equals to 180 degree minus 40 degree. Simplify. X equals to 40 degree. B plus 70 degree equals to 180 degree. Okay, look at this figure. Can you find angle B and 70 degree? Yes, they forms linear pair. Therefore sum of these two angle is 180 degree. Now we will shift 70 degree to that side of equal to. Therefore B equals to 180 degree minus 70 degree. Therefore B equals to 110 degree. Now look at this figure. Here line P and line Q are parallel and line S is a transversal, correct? So here angle Y and angle B will be equal. Y angle Y and angle B will be equal. Look at this figure, because Y and B are alternate angles, and we know alternate angles are congruent when the lines are parallel. But B equals to 110 degree, correct? Therefore Y equals to 110 degree. Now here we have the next question, question number 3rd. In the adjoining figure, line P parallel line Q, line L parallel line M. Find measure of angle A, angle B and angle C using the measures of angles. Justify your answers. Let's see the solution of this question. Line P parallel line Q and line L is a transversal. Look at this figure. In this figure, line P and Q are parallel and line L is a transversal. Okay. Therefore, A plus 80 degree equals to 180 degree. Look at this figure. A and 80 degree. Can you see that? Yes. What kind of angles are they? They are interior angles. And we know interior angles are supplementary when the lines are parallel. Therefore, A plus 80 degree equals to 180 degree. Now we will shift plus 80 degree to that side of equal to. Therefore, A equals to 180 degree minus 80 degree. Therefore, A equals to 100 degree. Now, here line L and line M are parallel and line P is a transversal. Okay, look at this figure. Angle C and angle 80 degree. Do you know what kind of angles are they? They are exterior alternate angles, right? Angle C and 80 degree are exterior alternate angles, and we know exterior alternate angles are congruent when the lines are parallel. Therefore, C equals to 80 degree as they are exterior alternate angles. Correct? Now, line P parallel line Q and line M is a transversal. Correct? You can see in this figure, line P and Q are parallel, line M is a transversal. Okay, look at angle C and angle B. What kind of angles are they? They are corresponding angle. Therefore, C equals to B. Let's see in the figure. C and B are corresponding angle. But C equals to 80 degree. Therefore, B equals to 80 degree. Now here we have the next question. In the adjoining figure, line A parallel line B, line L is a transversal. Find measure of angle X, angle Y and angle Z using the given information. First we will find angle X. Let's start the solution. Here line A parallel line B and line L is a transversals. Look at this figure. Okay, what is the relation between X and 110 degree? They are corresponding angles. Therefore, X equals to 110. Okay, can you see X and 110 degree in this figure? Yes. What kind of angles are they? They are corresponding angles. So they are equal. Now we will find Y. Look at this figure. What is the relation between X and Y? They are vertically upward angles, right? You can see in the figure, X and Y are vertically upward angles, and we know vertically upward angles are congruent. Therefore, X equals to Y, but X is 110 degree. Therefore, Y equals to 110 degree. Now we will find Z. Can you find angle Z in this figure? What is relation between Z and 110 degree? They forms linear pair. Can you see in this figure? They forms linear pair. Therefore, 110 degree plus Z equals to 180 degree. Now we will shift 110 degree to that side of equal to. Therefore, Z equals to 180 degree minus 110 degree. Therefore, Z equals to 70 degree. Now here we have the next question. In the adjoining figure, line P parallel line L parallel line Q. Find measures of angle X with the help of the measures given in the figure. Okay, look at this figure. Here all three lines are parallel to each other. And what we have to find out here, measure of angle X. Let's start the solution. Consider angle A and B as shown in the figure. Look at this figure. I'm going to name two angles in this figure as angle A and angle B. Look at this figure. Can you find angle A and B? Yes. Line P parallel line L. Okay, look at this figure. Here line P and line L are parallel. Therefore, 40 degree equals to A or A equals to 40 degree. Do you know why? Because A and 40 degree are alternate angles, and we know alternate angles are congruent when the lines are parallel. Therefore, A equals to 40 degree. Correct? Yes. Line L parallel line Q. Okay, look at this figure. Your line L and line Q are parallel to each other. Can you see angle B and 30 degree in this figure? What kind of angles are they? They are alternate angles, and we know alternate angles are congruent when the lines are parallel. Look at once again this figure, B and 30 degree. They are alternate angles. Therefore, B equals to 30 degree. So your A is 40 degree and B is 30 degree. Look at this figure. Your X equals to A plus B. Can you see this figure? Yes, here X is sum of two angles, angle A and angle B. Now we will substitute here value of A and B in this figure. Therefore, X equals to 40 degree plus 30 degree. Therefore, X equals to 70 degree.